Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm going to show you some easy meal prep. I am halfway through my pregnancy, so my schedules had to change at work a little bit. I only do like every other day if I am working extra, just because physically it just drains me. So we've got kids doing homeschool, virtual school, and we're gonna prep dinner today and we're gonna prep dinner tomorrow. It's just easier by the time they get home. It's like 6 o'clock from grandparents' house, and it's just too hard to make too much food. So I'm gonna show you a really easy meal recipe that I do in a crock pot for them. And then we're gonna have a copycat soup Toscana soup, which is probably 5 ingredients. It's probably the easiest soup to make. It tastes great, and I'll make like a grilled cheese later. We're gonna work some more on our Christmas decorations, like our lights outside. And I do have some freezer sugar cookies I'm gonna bake off that we did before. I'm gonna show you how those turn out. And I'm gonna make some sausage biscuit breakfast balls. They're sausage, cheese, and Bisquick, and you can roll them in balls and go ahead and bake them, or you can freeze them and just make them fresh, like in a toaster oven or whatever you need to do. So I'm gonna prep some of those, and I might make some muffins. We will see. I know a lot of people when they meal prep a bunch of different ways. Some people meal prep for the month, some people meal prep like for the week or 4 or 5 meals, and sometimes you just don't have the time to do that. Working the schedule that I am, and just with the holidays, it's just too much to try to meal prep like that. And then something comes up, or someone wants to come over, or there's an event, and it just throws everything off. So like, I was gonna make a soup for them for Sunday, and we just got home really late, and I wasn't gonna stay up because I had to go to work the next day from visiting family. So I said, nope, they used meatballs. The girls, I think there's a video coming out where they took my homemade tomato sauce and made a spaghetti sauce. Turned out good. Maybe ate 2 bowls of it. So there was 1 serving of it left. So they're starting to learn how to cook from scratch, which is really encouraging. I think so many people, you know, with like all the health problems, we don't eat great. So I know I'm guilty of that at times. Everybody is. So we try to cook from scratch as much as possible. Again, we can't always make our own bread and stuff because we both work, but I'm gonna show you some recipes today. So this is gonna be like for today, tomorrow, a breakfast or 2 items, which will stretch multiple days. It won't just be breakfast for tomorrow and the next day. It'll be breakfast for a couple days. They'll probably even snack on them at lunchtime, I would imagine, because it's just everything rolled up in one, and they're really good. So, and then muffins. So they'll take some to their grandparents with them. They'll have a couple left over. My husband will take some. So just finding things that maybe don't take a ton of time to cook, but are really easy to put together, throw together, and you still feel like you're cooking for your family, which you are, but you're not spending hours. You know, you can't always make lasagna from scratch. You can't always make, bread from scratch. So just, picking those battles and when you're gonna make it. And I make lasagna from scratch, but I don't make the pasta. I buy fresh pasta, but, or oven ready noodles. But, just finding those times when you can make, when you have time to let beans cook on the stove, or chili cook on the stove, or spaghetti sauce, and just really take some time and care in it. Make it then. Don't try to make it when you're running 90 miles an hour. So this is kind of what we're gonna do. So I'm going to make a crock pot sausage and pepper prep. I'm gonna show you how easy that is. This will cook on low all day, and then it'll be ready, and it's a complete meal. Those freezer sugar cookies, so I have icing too, but I have these sugar cookies. This is probably, I don't know, 2-3 dozen. We had made like a triple batch. So we'll bake these off, put some icing on them, and maybe some sprinkles if I can. I think I have sprinkles, but we'll make some sugar cookies as kind of like a nice little treat after dinner. Easy cleanup for the next 2 nights. We'll take some to grandma's house, and then but this was homemade dough that I just took an ice cream scoop, put a piece of parchment paper down on a cookie sheet, and just put multiple little ones on, flash froze it so they wouldn't stick together. See, this has been in the freezer for when did we make this? Like a month ago, 2 months ago, but they're not stuck together. They don't look all freezer burned, but I froze them individually and then put them in the bag. So we'll make these as kind of like our dessert item. And really, when you're making cookie dough, if you go ahead and triple the batch, you're not really doing anything but putting more flour, more sugar, more eggs at one time. It's really, it takes 5-10 minutes to glop some balls and stick them in the freezer. Glop, that just didn't come out right, but to just put some cookie dough balls in the freezer and then pull them out and just pop them in a freezer bag. So we're gonna do those. The Soupa Toscana is the Olive Garden recipe. It's really chicken broth, sausage, potato, onion, and you finish it with heavy cream. It's really the easiest thing to make. Some muffins, and then the sausage biscuits. Now, the muffins, I have to see what fruit I have. I know I have some blueberries, so I might make a couple different muffins and maybe freeze some. We will see. I know a lot of people intermix as they're doing, they have multiple things going. I'm not gonna do that just because, again, if I get tired or I start not feeling well, which does happen, and I have to go lay down for a minute, I'll take a break and then I'll come back. And I don't wanna have 5 different things all over the counter. I'd rather just finish something and then move on. So even if you're one of those moms where like, I only have 30 minutes here, I only have 40 minutes here, stop, do one thing, finish it, and then do something else. You know, you got kids, have them do the dishes, throw everything in the dishwasher, run it, start again. Whatever works for your family to get it done and relieve your stress, I'm all about. So the first thing we're gonna do is some sausage and peppers, and I'll speed this up, but this is, I get this from Sam's Club, and this is frozen even. I'm not even gonna defrost it. I'm gonna put it in my crock pot, and then I'm gonna cook it tomorrow. And so it'll be in the fridge tonight, so it'll be fine. So this is some Hillshire smoked sausage. I have garlic, and I do use like garlic and garlic powder. I still think it's a different flavor. I have some onion powder. I will also do a little bit of this bouillon just because I think it bumps the flavor up, but I won't add any salt because that has enough salt. I also have 1 onion that I'll cube up. And then, guys, this from, if anybody's watched my videos from COVID, we had got like 25 to 40 pounds in a box of bell peppers. And I know it has a little bit of, but I'm not worried about it. It's because they were wet. Bell peppers. I'm still doing these bell peppers. This, and I've done it with onions too. This is a great time saver. If you go and like one day you're not doing a lot of things or you're watching TV or something, just sit there and dice bell pepper and put it in a bag. So these are little cubes of bell pepper. And so all I have to do is break this off and throw it in there. Generally, I have onion done as well, where I just take a chunk and throw it in there. It's gonna defrost, it's gonna cook. Vegetables defrost super quick. And I have this with like my jalapenos, my tomatillos. It's just flash frozen. And this isn't even flash frozen. This was washed, and because it's a wet vegetable is why it has ice. It's not even freezer burn, it's just ice. So, which makes a little bit of like a broth when you add this with it. So I, excuse me, I love to do peppers and onions this way because chili, spaghetti sauce, this recipe, whatever you're using that uses bell peppers or onions, you just cut your time, your mess down tremendously just having these things prepped. So a lot of times when I'm out of this, I'll buy like 20 pounds of bell peppers or a big bag of onion, and I'll cut the whole bag up. Okay, so all we're gonna do to start, and I'm gonna speed this up in a minute, I'm gonna show you. So all I'm doing, this is like frozen. So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to, thank you, keep my trash close to me, is cut these, and they are super frozen. Is cube these up, and I'm gonna put these in my crock pot. So I'm gonna add these onions in, just like this. And I just want big cubes, because they'll cook down, because I want big cubes. Then all I'm gonna do is I break this up. That's how fast the vegetables. And these peppers are already melting. And I keep the water on here and this frozen meat just because this will help when I put the juice in there to make like a liquid or like a broth. So I'm gonna put a heaping thing of garlic in there. Minced garlic, you can mince your own. And then I do a little bit of garlic powder, just a shake, because I already have some garlic and onion. Some onion powder. Some bouillon. You can also put, I also put, try them out, poblano peppers in here diced up, because I keep those in my freezer, and it just makes a really nice like a little bit of spice if you like a little spice. Not all poblanos have spice when you eat them, but when you cook them they take on a different level. So all I'm going to do is mix this up. Now that's what it looks like. Beautiful. So when you cook this, you can get hoagies or hot dog rolls even and fill them up, and you can even melt provolone cheese on that. The meat will be cooked, the peppers will be soft, you'll have a little bit of juice. You could do like an au jus on the side. I add corn to mine when it's almost done. It reminds me of a recipe my grandmother used to do, so it's nostalgic for me. You can put it over rice, or you can just eat it plain. So whichever way you want to do it. This meal, cutting up even the frozen meat, which I had to be a little more careful with because it, you know, it was hard, but this meal took me 10 minutes to put together, and it will be sausage and peppers for my family. What I'll do is I'll put this in the crock pot on low, because we're gone for so long. My husband will, I'll have him hit start, and this will be on low, and then it'll just stay on warm. So when they come home, this will be ready. And again, the water that's already in that will mix with the broth and the onion and the garlics, and it'll just be beautiful. So, and then he'll add 2 cans of corn to this, and the kids will eat this, and my husband, and I'll even eat it when I get home from work. So this is meal 1 done, sausage and peppers. Okay, for the second thing, since I'm making the soup, I had a 3-pound log of Jimmy Dean sausage. So I'm gonna use 2 pounds because I'm gonna double my recipe for the soup, and I'm just gonna make a pound here. So it's 1 pound of pork sausage. You can use hot too. I'm not gonna use hot because everybody eats it. And then it's 3 scant cups of just Bisquick, like pancake mix. And I have more. That's 1. I use a little bit less because I like them, I'm gonna have to get some more out. I like it a little bit more sausagey than I do the other way. This is the only thing I use Bisquick. I don't even use this for like pancakes normally. I only use it for this recipe. So let's see. So Bisquick, and then the cheese was frozen. So I buy cheese and I just freeze shredded cheese because I don't like sliced cheese frozen. I feel like it gets brittle. But I'm going to put 16 ounces or 4 cups of cheese in here. Let's see. I'm gonna have to work with this. I don't want this whole ball to fall in here. There. Because then it would touch that raw meat and I would... Alright, so I'm going to take my jewelry off real quick. And then all you're going to do is use your hands and kind of mush it together. Now you can see that it's formed a ball. There's some little bit of shakes on the bottom that I'll just roll the balls into and make these. And all I'm going to do is take some out and kind of form it together into little balls. Now, I know it looks dry, but remember when the sausage cooks, it does have like a natural like fat or grease to the biscuit or to the sausage that will keep all of that moist. See, I just take a little bit of this part that's on the bottom because like I said, when the sausage cooks, it will absorb this Bisquick stuff. So you just kind of form it into these balls. And this is like a little sausage biscuit. I grew up loving every Friday my mom would take me to McDonald's and let me have a sausage biscuit. I always eat the same thing. To this day, that's the only breakfast I eat there. So this to me tastes like it. And these freeze really well. You can freeze them like this, or you can cook them and freeze them, or cook them and put them in the fridge and then just heat them up when you want to eat them in the microwave for a couple minutes. See, sometimes you just, I just dab it in the cheese because I'm just trying to open the sausage up. You just have to make sure, so they're not dry, that you mix them as best as you can. So we'll speed this up and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so we will just bake those until those are golden. Oh, see the bump? We will just bake those until those are golden brown, and then the kids can, I'll put them in the fridge, or you can freeze them or whatever. That for our house is nothing. So we have our sugar cookies cooking. We'll ice those. As far as our list, we have already done the sausage and peppers. We cooked the cookies. Kids will, if I don't get to them, they will easily defrost those for me. And we have these baking. So I don't want to start the soup until a little bit later. I'll have that ready to go. That way when we come in from working on the lights a little bit, we'll eat dinner like 6:30, but it's soup and grilled cheese, so it'll be okay. We'll eat a little bit later, and I will make some muffins next, and it looks like I will get everything on my list done. So these are how these turned out. They're cooked till they get a golden brown, and when you kind of open them up, they're very moist with from the cheese and the sausage, and these are so yummy. So already eating those. Hopefully they last till breakfast.